First on CBS This Morning, Fortune magazine reveals this year's list of the top 500 companies in the U.S. Apple comes in at number 5. Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, is 4th. At number 3, Chevron. ExxonMobil is number 2. And number 1 on the list, Walmart.
Indeed. The Fortune 500 is the cover story in this new issue of the magazine, and her is Fortune magazine's managing editor. Welcome.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, this is about revenue. This is the number of sales.
That's right.
So just give me your sense of what's changed that makes this an interesting list this year.
Well, Walmart's number 1, as you said, but that's not so new. They've been number 1 for 10 years, and they're down in Bentonville, Arkansas, like that today. Right. Again. But I think the big news is that profits in the Fortune 500, the cumulative, the total profits for the entire group, soared last year, up over 30%, topping $1 trillion. $1 trillion for the first time. At the same time, employment in the Fortune 500 barely budged.
And so why is that?
That means that these companies are hoarding their cash.
And
they're making a lot of money because the CEOs say they're concerned about the economy. They don't know where things are headed. This becomes a political debate, and you ask the Obama administration, and they say these people need to step up and start hiring people and paying people more. It's one of these debates we're having in our society, and speaks to inequality, too, which is another hot topic.
Apple's your only tech company in the top 10, but you say that tech companies still have sustainability, even though there's only one in the top 10.
Well, but if you look at some of the others as well, Gail, like Facebook is just soaring up the list. They barely made the list last year. This year, they're in the 300s. People said they couldn't make any money, right? Now they have $7.5 billion of revenues, $1.5 billion of profits. I mean, they're quickly becoming one of the most profitable companies in the Fortune 500 as well.
Number 2 on the list is ExxonMobil, and you say they could actually top Walmart?
Well, at some point, you know, really they need the price of oil to go up, Nora. It's that simple. And Walmart is growing pretty slowly these days, only 1.5%.
Less oil dependent?
Well, but they're still drilling for oil and gas and shale gas in the United States, so they're making money that way. But it's going to be hard for them to catch Walmart. Think about it this way. Walmart's only growing 1.5% a year right now. That's still $6 billion a year of new sales. That's bigger than some of the companies on the Fortune 500. The entry level is about $5 billion right now.
And Coach is a newcomer on the list. You know they make beautiful bags.
They should. I do know that, as a matter of fact.
You do know that.
I've shopped for some friends there.
There you go.
Well, why are they so interesting to you?
Yeah.
Well, they're interesting to me because here's sort of a great American success story that's been slowly climbing, slowly growing, and all of a sudden they're selling $5 billion worth of handbags and purses. I mean, what's wrong with that story?
Here's the point that Warren Buffett can tell you easily. If Berkshire Hathaway, which is number 4, was all these companies were separate, he'd have 4 or 5 companies in the top 500.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so they're not, the big 2, Walmart and Exxon, are over $400 billion. He's right around 200. So I don't think he's ever going to catch up to those two. But I mean, this is a guy who's created this company entirely on his own, as opposed to these other companies. I mean, and it continues to grow very, very fast as he continues to buy bigger and bigger companies.
Let's go back to tech companies with Melissa Meyer and Yahoo displaced on the list. Does that say anything about her or her leadership?
I don't think it does. I think it's so Yahoo dropped off the list. I don't think it says so much about her as her business. The portal business is not a particularly good business. It's flat, which is to say all the other companies around it grew faster, so it dropped off the list. I've said I think she's the best CEO they've ever had, but is that enough? It's a very, very tough place to be. Another tech company that dropped off the list was Dell, because it went private.
Andrew Serwer, good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you guys.